Welcome to the Odd Drunk Podcast. It is now time for spooks and booze, the years and beers of the spookiest time of the year. So grab your drinks, your tricks and treats, and prepare yourself for Spooktober.
Hello and welcome to the last Spooktober episode of the Odd Drunk Podcast this year. Hope you've been having fun with our spooky content lately.
Well, we've been having fun.
Oh yeah, always. Even though it's been a hectic transition just overall, moving to remote to Zoom only, and just both been really busy in our lives, but we still enjoy doing this podcast, and we hope you still enjoy the show, even though, let's admit it has a different energy now.
Yeah, but it's still good.
It's had a weird energy for a while, and now it's transitioning to whatever this is.
We've settled in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It took us 150
Well, have we ever
episodes.
really settled in?
Yeah, it took us 150 episodes, but we're finally settling in.
Finally, yeah. Anyways, as per tradition, with the last our previous Spooktobers, we always do a movie commentary. In fact, I think the first movie commentary we ever done was for Spooktober.
It might have been, yeah.
I think because we did the Halloween 2018 movie.
Yeah.
With a group of friends. It's honestly not one of our best commentary because we're mostly just hanging out with our friends, but it was
True.
a good time. And well, now we're taking everything back full circle, and we are going to be watching the original Halloween.
Yeah, episode
1978
20, Halloween
release.
2018 commentary.
Yep, way back then. And we've done reviews on all the new Halloween trilogy. You can go check those out, our tier list and reviews for that. Generally, I mean, it started off quite promising, went downhill with Halloween Kills as far as the story goes. I mean, yeah, it was cool seeing Michael go crazy in that one. Oh, my cat's going crazy. And then Halloween Ends. But we're not going to be talking about any of that mumbo jumbo tonight. I mean, maybe some, but we are going back to the OG, John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yeah, it's good. Good. With the
1978
exception of last year, we've done a slasher flick for every commentary.
Yeah, last year we did Ghostbusters, and of course that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and then the year before that, year before that we did Freddy versus Jason, and that's still one of my favorites. That movie's just nuts. But this is an absolute classic. There was a couple movies we were thinking about doing for a commentary. A couple I didn't even mention to you that I thought would be cool. Another one I was thinking of was The Thing, another John Carpenter movie.
Maybe we'll have to do a commentary on that anyway sometime.
Right, just for the fun.
It doesn't have to be Spooktober for us to do spooky stuff. No,
well, we have plenty of spooky episodes that we release whenever, because that's always such a fun genre, of podcasting. But yeah, we're gonna get into Halloween. We each have a different copy here to make things go as smooth as possible. So we are not screen sharing because, well, I must say I have really good internet now, but the internet is going to be internet, and there's always going to be lag. I don't care. So to make it as smooth as possible, we are each watching our own copy on Amazon.
Yep.
And
I think we're all just including me and the audience. We're all just going to sync with Jackson.
Yeah, so I'm going to get us started here coming up in a moment. So yeah, we're watching the original Halloween, released 1978, on a measly budget of I believe $300,000.
Oh,
Um,
that is
ended
insane.
up from budget.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into facts and everything, but this was the debut of Jamie Lee Curtis, and it would solidify her as the one of the main Scream queens.
Oh yeah.
And it's well, let's just get into it. I mean, this is the one that really kicked off what we know as slashers today. I mean, we still have this series going on, and I heard they might be doing a Halloween show or something.
Huh.
Who I don't know,
That would
but
be weird,
there's
maybe.
been a lot of movies, but well, there's some other Halloween movies I think I would definitely recommend, like Halloween 2 or even the 2018 one,
Yeah, I
even the
thought
Rob Zombie one. I think that
yeah.
one's a lot of fun with all the Rob Zombieisms it has.
Isms, the Rob Zombie
It's
isms.
brutal, it's gnarly, it's grody, but
It's very
there's
much what
nothing
you'd
quite
expect from
like
Rob Zombie, you know.
the original Halloween is still one of my favorite horror movies of all time, just because it's so what they do with the budget and how they build up upon all this is great. But anyways, let's get into this. I'm gonna get my copy ready to go. Starting at 0. That's helpful. Oh, let me get
Yes.
my dual screens going. Whoops. I
Yeah,
mean,
I've
I
got a
do have
second.
two
I've got
screens.
a
I don't have
second
to
monitor
crowd a bunch
here
of
for.
windows here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's honestly the thing that I use the second monitor for the most is watching videos, watching movies, and YouTube and stuff while I browse the internet.
Yeah, honestly, it was probably good that I didn't have multiple monitors while I was in college.
Oh yeah,
That's just more distractions I don't need. Let's extend these displays. And once I get it all working, we're gonna get going here in a moment. Move you over there. So I want my movie on the big screen. I don't know about you.
oh same. Yes. Yeah.
Let's hope this all goes well. Fingers crossed. Would it be the first time we had to re-record a whole thing or just throw something out? So fingers crossed. Anyways, if you haven't listened to one of our commentary episodes before, this is how it is going to play out. I'm tired. I've been up for a while. It's not the drinking. I barely even started drinking my beer, and we'll get into that in a moment. But
It's okay. It's been a long day.
anyways, this is how it goes. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, play. You're gonna hit play, and then we're gonna sync up. I think for this movie, it might be quite easy to sync up when the pumpkin pops up because we might have different. Yeah, we'll sync when it shows the jack-o'-lantern in the intro sequence. I
Yeah.
can't remember if it does the cold open before that.
I don't think it does.
I think it does, doesn't it?
No, I don't think so in this one.
I've seen this movie so many times, but I get the chronological order mixed up. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think it
Anyways,
does a cold opening on this one. Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. It's playing on my end.
It's playing here.
I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit so I can hear you. Okay, mine says Trendcast International.
Yep.
Whatever is this distribution company. This was not the original. Oh yeah, Compass International Pictures. Actually, yeah, that was the production company. Yeah. Here we go. The classic theme, composed by John Carpenter himself. Yeah, Compass International Pictures release. Mustafa Akkad, and his son Malik Akkad has played a huge hand in the rest of the series. And there's that pumpkin. So that
Yes.
Donald Pleasance, yeah, of Doctor No fame. He plays Dr. Loomis in this. He's a great character. Anyways, that jack-o'-lantern, I actually replicated the same jack-o'-lantern last year for Halloween.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I just found a stencil and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. And if somebody gets it, then they really know. They're but it's supposed to be the whole idea of it is supposed to kind of like allude to the shape to Michael with a knife. Like if you look at the right eye
Oh.
hole and then the nose, that's supposed to kind of be like him holding a knife.
Yeah, I can kind of
Like
see
it's
that. Yeah.
what I like about it. It's kind of the just like a trick of the brain thing. Like where you see things and images that aren't really there, like at all. It's just your brain putting it together. I know there's all those memes now where it's obviously an AI. I don't know what they're doing to prompt the AI to do this, but where it's like a location,
Hmm.
but then you squint your eyes and it's Better Call Saul or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
those are pretty good. Oh yeah, Prime gives me trivia on the go. That's pretty cool. Um, I might utilize those. Yeah, with X-Ray. Isn't that fancy? Produced by Deborah Hill. That was John Carpenter's wife at the time or girlfriend. And there's actually funny trivia with the second movie. Um, Haddonfield, Illinois. Okay. So this,
1963.
yeah, so this little Michael and this POV shot, was a pretty, big deal back then. You didn't really see this a lot.
No, there weren't a lot of movies that did that sort of thing. What I
Yeah,
like,
I really appreciate when, a movie has fun camera work and cinematography.
what I like about this, some of the scenes in this is they're very quiet scenes. You know,
Yeah, it just lets you kind of soak in the atmosphere. But yeah, this whole scene, um, him, and this is the whole slasher trope of they, kill teenagers when they're gonna do it or about to do it. But
ah,
him spying the music cues.
yeah,
Now, right here,
that's
so it's um I think right there when they pass the bush is when it's a new shot.
okay. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's filmed as a one shot, and this technique is used a lot where it's filmed as a one shot, but it's actually not a one shot. It's
yeah. There's all
multiple
those
different
hidden
shots. Just
cuts and stuff.
yeah, those hidden cuts.
Yeah, um, because filming one shot actually as one shot is really hard. Um, yeah,
I hope we're not off sync. I tried looking at one of the trivia things. I don't know if I want to click on those.
yeah.
It takes you out of the movie. But general trivia prior to the movie, a book was written by Curtis Richards and reveals more of the story behind Michael Myers' rage, thoughts, and motives. However, the book is very rare. Okay, well, I just want to get those off my screen.
Ooh,
I can get my own
putting his
trivia.
shirt back on. You know what they were doing?
Uh-huh.
They were probably playing with stuffed animals.
Maybe, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
They were playing shirts and skins. They were wrestling.
they were wrestling. Yeah.
Wrestling. um, oh yeah, and the shot of him putting the clown mask on, that's good stuff. This opening scene always paired with the music and just the eerie silence. And there's not a lot of like this house, it all feels very genuine, this set here. It probably was a house.
I love those music cues. A little high pitched.
Yeah, we're gonna be saying that quite a lot in this one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. First nude shot of film. But yeah, I've seen this movie a lot. I'm at the point
I
where
hope we're synced up with
I
each
don't know.
other.
Where are you? What's happening? He's stabbing his sister.
She just stabbed her on mine. I think we're close enough.
She just got stabbed to death.
Yeah, he's going down the stairs now and on mine.
Yeah.
Right.
He's going down the stairs on mine too.
I think we're
slightly off.
We're a couple seconds
I clicked
off.
on the trivia and that threw me off, so I'm not gonna click on that anymore.
Yeah, we'll use phones for pulling up trivia and stuff.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's running smooth. And here's his parents. Michael.
Yeah. You know, that might be a sign that he's a psychopath. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs some help.
What I like about this original is it never goes any further to his origins. It's just like he kills his sister that Halloween night. He doesn't say anything, and he never says anything again.
Yeah.
October 30th, 1978.
Yeah, sorry, we do this all the time in commentaries when we watch like good movies. We're just go silent for a moment.
So Don Pleasance. So this is one of my favorite sections of the movie. Just this
Oh yeah.
opening scene coming into the asylum or the state hospital, mental hospital. And they kind of emulate the scene in the remake when he busts out of the bus when they're transporting all the patients and they're just all wandering.
Yeah, and, I remember that one.
You're ahead, so you're probably already seeing that. I don't know.
No, I think I'm only a few seconds ahead of you at most.
Cool. Yeah, she's smoking a ciggy.
Good for your health.
Oh yeah. Yeah, back in the 70s, everybody and their mother was smoking.
Oh yeah. I think that would be like if I were to travel back in time, like I'd mostly do pretty good in the 70s, except for people smoking inside cars and buses and stuff like that would drive me crazy. I don't think I'd be able to deal with that. Oh yeah, there's the
Yeah, you're just slightly ahead of me. Now I'm seeing the patients. Here's the music. Yeah, this imagery always freaked me out as a kid. I mean, even before
I paused it for a split second.
The mask
there.
on.
Maybe it'll be more on time.
So here coming up when he jumps on top of the car and everything. Here in a second.
He's agile.
saw his face for a bit. But right here where he smashes the window, there's a blink and you see it moment. I mean, blink and you miss it moment. Uh, he's actually when he smashes the window.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, wrench. Just straight up a wrench. Because they really just smashed the car window with the wrench.
Yeah.
That's how low budget this was.
Yeah, low budget
And
enough
it's
where they're like, we need to smash a car window.
and it's clearly
Can't
there. So
afford to get a
canonically,
breakaway glass or anything like that. They just
canonically, Michael really used the wrench.
yeah.
This is he just uses a lot of tricks to, make it seem like he's extra strong, but really he just has a wrench. Bulletproof vest. And, a lot of people thought they were gonna do that kind of thing in the new movies, and I think it could have been interesting. Like they're like, yeah, he actually has like a bulletproof vest and everything. It can all be explained, but that also ruins it.
I'm glad they didn't go
Also,
into too much detail in the new movies. On
yeah,
that sort
no,
of
and then
thing.
they went. I mean, and they go supernatural, and then this one. What I love about this first one, there's no real explanation aside from Loomis just saying, yeah, he never spoke, and he had the blackness in his eyes and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's Jamie Lee Curtis. That's her real hair in this one. She would wear a wig in our the second one.
Yeah.
And that's the only time you see her dad in this movie.
So they filmed this in
Southern California.
Southern California, and they
Yeah.
tried to make it look like it wasn't.
Right. I mean, none of the leaves change or anything, and it's supposed to be in Illinois, which gets quite cold.
Yeah, they just
Uh,
sprinkled some leaves on the ground.
yeah, I think they literally. I
Filmed on
forget
an
the
overcast
story.
day.
Right. Oh yeah, you can straight up see palm trees in the background,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like just clearly there. I've never really noticed that.
yeah,
Well, I don't think I've ever really acknowledged it because when I was a kid, I never really thought about it. And
yeah. I mean,
when you're doing a commentary, you have time to look at the background, and the sets and everything, and they're yeah,
yeah.
straight up palm trees back there.
I mean, when you're low budget, it's like you just film where you
I mean, at
can.
this right. But yeah, it had a budget of 300,000. Over a 20-day shoot, the film went on to gross 47 million at the US box office.
Ooh,
In 2008, takings would be the equivalent of 150 million, making Halloween one of the most successful independent films of all time.
damn. I mean, yeah, that's really, really impressive. And especially like considering the franchise that it spawned, like
Right. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's great in this, but she's not in this for any just random reason. She's the daughter of Janet Leigh, who was in Psycho. She's the one that got stabbed in the shower.
yeah, yeah.
So you have two classic uh scream
I
queens,
love that you can
the
hear
same
Michael
family.
breathing there.
Yeah. Um oh, apparently they were also trying to get Jamie Lee Curtis in Psycho 2
Oh,
around the same time.
huh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he can just drive even though no one taught him or anything. Um, well, it's just because he can do whatever he has to get to his destination.
Yeah, I mean,
The
driving's not that hard.
idea is just
And
no.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
he doesn't care if he runs over a few people on the way.
right.
So driving safely is probably not
He's played enough GTA
yeah,
in the
back in
70s.
the 70s, yeah. Yeah, you know, GTA on the Atari.
Just two sticks. It was just Pong. It was really just Pong.
Pong, but you know, if you use your
That's what everything
imagination,
was.
it's
Right. Hey, you got a ball and two sticks. There is. So that's the first sighting of the William Shatner mask. So
yeah. How old was Jamie
so
Lee
that
Curtis
mask,
when she did this?
I think she was only like 19 or 20.
Okay. Because it's like she looks young, but she also doesn't quite look as young as the other high schoolers.
Well, that's always how it goes.
Yeah.
She's just more mature. There's a I know they had to like ship a bunch of pumpkins in because they didn't have any, but they filmed this like in May or June.
Oh,
So it was, I think they used some other type of gourd instead of pumpkins.
huh. Bullying him
Oh.
because of his pumpkin. And see, Michael doesn't kill kids.
No, um, I don't. Well, they kind of broke that rule in the new one,
Yeah.
and then and the sequels like on the fourth or the fifth one, he's chasing after his niece. But yeah, you never see him on screen kill kids, and they never really say that he does.
It would have been a little bit much for the 70s.
Yeah, just also he would have been. I mean, he would have been detained, arrested, and detained.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not in the 70s. You could get away with a lot. There was a lot of serial killers roaming around. Um, More palm trees. Now that's all I'm looking at. I've never really noticed how many palm trees are in these shots.
Yeah, I mean it looks like
Like I
Southern
knew they filmed it
California.
in California, but I never knew they
Like that
didn't even
looks
attempt to hide them.
that
Oh,
looks
that's just
exactly like
California.
Southern California. That's
That's like Bakersfield or something.
more like Fresno.
I, another another show. Well, it's a show, but The Office just egregious with its outdoor shots
Oh yeah.
with all the palm trees in the background stuff. It's supposed to be in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows like that. Community is like that. It takes place in Colorado, but they don't make any attempt to make it look like Colorado. like like they have their Christmas episodes and there's
I
no
mean,
snow
I
outside.
understand budgets, but at least get some exterior shots, you know.
Yeah. They have an episode where they go out into the mountains and it's very clearly like the Angeles National Forest. Like
Right. So yeah, he did kill the mechanic to get the jumpsuit coveralls.
nice. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
be stylish. It's like in a it's like in a
Right.
RPG video game where you see someone with some cool armor. So you
Right.
gotta kill them to get their armor.
Oh, I've gotten into my fair share of battles in Baldur's Gate over that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I need to get back into that. I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man 2.
Oh nice. Yeah, I've been
It's time to get back to Baldur's Gate.
distracted by other games, playing some Arkham Knight again.
Nice.
Which is always fun. Always good times getting into some Batman shenanigans.
So I know both of both of those actresses have been in some other scary movies. The one in the middle, she was actually in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, when they tried to do it like started out as an anthology series.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, where the fuck is Michael? So they went back to Michael. But the idea after the second one was to make it just an anthology series, just spooky tales on Halloween.
Yeah. Which I mean would be a good idea. I feel like that's something you could pull out on a streaming service, like an anthology series like that.
I think that would be cool if that's where they went with the Halloween show.
Yeah, that would be.
Maybe maybe do like one cool Michael story and then do some other stuff, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or have Michael be like a through line, like I don't know.
Maybe he's hiring other people to do murders.
Right.
He has a little
Hitman style.
like office.
He keeps the mask on and everything, but he puts on the chef's outfit, and
Yeah. He has a little office with a little swivelly chair, and another creepy slasher character walks in and he swivels around and doesn't talk. It's a totally like
they just
dialogue
they breathe at each other.
They just breathe at each other, and he just like hands them a picture of someone, and then they go kill
Right.
them. Yeah. Go full camp with it.
I always like those trees. Those are nice spooky trees.
They are.
I can't tell you what kind of trees they
I was
are,
gonna
but
say I wonder what type of trees
pretty
they are.
iconic trees.
I'm not a tree guy. I don't know a lot about trees. Um,
Herbology, right? No,
I don't know.
Well, it would be a field of study within botany.
Yeah.
Um, Halloween movie trivia quiz. Ooh, I'm gonna see how many I can get right while I'm watching this.
Oh, there he is.
Oh no, that's a stupid ad. Oh yeah, classic shot behind the bush. I mean, it's kind of these daylight scenes are kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
but it's
But it's like they don't know who he is yet.
but also it would be. I mean,
yeah,
he's
like
gone.
they don't know who he is yet. Like later on in the series, it's like he's more infamous.
Right, he's just this weirdo stalker and apprentice playing around for.
And
I
he's
think
surprisingly fast too.
yeah, I mean he must have just hoofed it. I mean,
Yeah, like slowly steps out from view and then just books
well,
it.
like have you seen the Batman videos where it's like what Batman looks like when
Oh
when
yeah.
he's running?
Yeah.
It's that. Like every time Jim Gordon turns around and Batman's gone.
Yeah, he's like hanging off the windowsill. There is a part because as I said I was playing Arkham Knight, and there's a good part in it where you play as Commissioner Gordon, and it's first person. So it's like you walk into
No,
this bat
fake
cave.
out jump scare.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
But you walk into like the
I
bat
remember that
cave or
part.
whatever it is, the lair, and it's not the bat cave, but and you're walking around, and then you turn around, and suddenly Batman's there, like right in front of you, and it gives you a little jump scare. Like, yeah.
That man bat jump scare got me
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
I do wish there was more like random encounters like that in Spider-Man 2. Not that we're gonna keep talking about those games, but
Yeah.
it has great side missions and stuff, but they're still just presented as side missions that you go out and
I'm hearing
find pretty much.
I'm hearing about a lot of people say about Spider-Man 2, no one really has bad things to say about it, but I'm hearing a lot of
Just
people say,
nitpicky things.
oh, I'm just hearing a lot of people say like it is, even though it's really good, it is really safe as far as sequels go. You know,
It also goes balls to the wall with all the comic book
that's
stuff they
awesome.
play with,
Yeah. We
like all the
should
Venom stuff. And
talk about something real quick during this slower part in the movie. Hey Jackson, what are you drinking tonight? We
oh
haven't
yeah,
done
we
that.
totally
We
forgot.
haven't done that yet. Got half an hour into the episode without.
Yeah, I've got
Oh, there he is.
yeah, standing by the laundry. I've got a classic of the podcast here from Rogue Brewing, the Bat Squatch.
Ooh, nice. Oh,
First time we had it was on our Cryptics episode, I believe.
yeah,
And
that's a good one.
it's been quite a while since I've had this, but it is quite good. It's a
It's one of
good
those
kind
beers
of
that
tropical,
I
juicy
think I
IPA.
think I mentioned it to someone at work recently. We saying that we should carry that one at work, because we don't. The only thing from Rogue Brewing that we carry is the Dead Guy Ale, which is decent, but um, I
But they're
have
both really good.
yeah, I have from uh, what is this? Coronado Brewing Company. Um, Salty Crew Blonde Ale. Which is, it's pretty good. It's a light blonde ale.
Goes down easy, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty low ABV. I don't know what it is exactly. Let's see. 4.5%. It's just become one of my go-to when I just want a single beer to grab on my way home.
So I never realized this. So the score, it was written and composed by John Carpenter,
Mhm.
but it's credited to the Bowling Green Philharmonic Orchestra because Carpenter grew up in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, cool.
And he just kind of made that up as just a tribute to his home.
So he just did it himself and was just like, let's say that they did it.
It seems, it makes it seem cooler,
Yeah. I like that though. That's fun.
But I mean, it's still cool. But yeah, that's a cool little tribute. I never knew that.
Trick or Treaters coming out.
Yeah, it's early Halloween midday, I guess. Afternoon, going into evening.
Yeah.
It really pulls me out of the experience to like how many times I've seen this movie. And I think I've only noticed a palm tree like once in all of my viewings. Because I'm never looking just like out in the background. But
And
now
you're seeing them everywhere.
I'm seeing them everywhere because I see them everywhere where I live now. So I know
Right,
how to
yeah.
spot a palm tree. They kind of stick out. I mean, they stick out in a good way, but like in a movie where it's supposed
Yeah,
to
there's
be in the
a couple in the
Midwest, they
background
stick out like
there.
a sore thumb.
There's a few
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, off to the left there. Like they're just walking past palm trees.
Oh yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple there.
Yeah. Like not even in the background. That's just like right there.
I mean, why not just have it in California? Nightmare, I guess that's not as spooky, I guess, but like Nightmare on Elm Street, it's set in California, I'm pretty sure. Like they didn't try to hide that it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they just like don't even say where it takes place. Just
They have to. They have to say something.
they don't have
They have to have a
say,
setting.
well, they don't have to say like specifically where it takes place. They can just it can just be a suburban town. Like, you know?
True.
Like doesn't matter if it's California or Illinois. Yeah.
Dug up her grave. His sister's grave.
Mm.
Uh-oh, they're smoking stogies. Listening to Blue Oyster Cult. That's now a classic Halloween song. And
Yeah.
definitely due to this, and also more cowbell.
Yeah.
Those are the two things I think of when I hear that song: more cowbell and Halloween. Blue Oyster Cult's actually pretty damn good, though.
They are. I never got really into
They
them.
have some good songs.
They do have some really good stuff. Another band
If you want just some,
another band that I slept on for a long time that recently I've come to appreciate more is Dire Straits.
oh yeah,
Yeah, Dire Straits
really good
rocks
stuff.
pretty good, yeah.
And her dad's a cop. Oh yeah, this part was always a little bit confusing. So they just found out. So he just robbed this hardware store,
Yeah.
like quite recently.
Uh-oh. Mine's buffering.
Oh, well, mine's going. I'll
Where are
let you
you?
know where I am.
Yeah.
I'm 33 minutes and 3 seconds right now. I'm at around 33 minutes.
All right, you're just a couple seconds ahead of me. That's good enough.
Yeah, they're yelling at their dad. All right, you good now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I forgot to mention. So yeah, with the William Shatner. Oh, there's a bunch of palm trees right there. Wow, with William Shatner mask and everything. I mean, it really doesn't look like William Shatner.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
it just looks like a man, just that, well, it works incredibly well. It's so simple. I think so. The other mask that they were working with was like a scary pumpkin looking guy, a bit on the nose, obviously, for a Halloween movie, a jack-o'-lantern guy. But then, and they were like, oh, that's scary. And that's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
But then, they Nick Castle, I believe, he plays Michael for the most part in this, walked out with the white mask, and at first they kind of thought it was dumb, but then the more they just kind of looked at it and the more it stared back at them, it just got creepier and creepier, and it is creepy.
I mean, I think what makes it work is like that kind of uncanny valley type of thing.
Uncanny Valley, exactly. And that's the type of horror that really works for me. That's what really scares me. Like, recently with internet horror, with like the Mandela catalog and stuff, one of the things that really makes that creepy is the Uncanny Valley. Like the imposters are, I forget what are they called, the creatures of Mandela catalog, or whatever they're called. We did a couple episodes on this.
We should know what they're called. Yeah.
Imposters, right?
Maybe.
No, that's Among Us. Alternates.
Right,
alternates.
Right.
So the alternates, a lot of them are just, they look like a normal person, but it's just slightly off, and that's
Yeah.
what makes it scary
Well, that's
because it's
if you
something
go back to our
the
cryptids
uncanny valley.
episode, probably my favorite cryptid that we talked about, it was the knot deer.
Oh yeah.
Like I really like the idea of that one because it's just like I think it's actually kind of creepy. Where like
Right.
the other ones are like either just like weird animals or like just like folklore stuff. Whereas like the knot deer is like somewhere in between that. Like
Feels more creepy pasta compared to a lot of other cryptids.
I think it is. I mean, I think the knot deer kind of is an internet type of legend.
So yeah,
But
the art
it's still
director
fun. I like it. Yeah.
Tommy Lee Wallace was instructed to find a mask, and he found a Captain Kirk mask, painted it white, changed the hair, and stretched the eyes out a bit, and there you have it. And most of the other Michael Myers masks do not reach the same quality as that one. It's just a store-bought mask they modified.
Yeah.
Like they tried so many times to redo it or to revise it or make it different, and they often worse or it just looks dumb. I think, a couple of the good exceptions, obviously, yeah, the 2018 one, because it was
28.
quite literally modeled after the original mask, just aged,
Yeah.
right?
They did a good job of that.
Um,
Yeah.
and then, so for the age version, and then also the Rob Zombie one is pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, it's slightly different, but it perfectly captures the same imagery. And then there's the weird long pointy nose one in part 5 or whatever. And then there's the one with the big eyebrows and the makeup
Yeah, they've done some
and
weird
resurrection.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Um
it seems like such an easy thing to do. And I literally just watched a YouTube video of like they bought an old Captain Kirk mask, the same one they would have bought from this era, and they just made the Michael Myers mask, and it looked just like it's like, why didn't they just do that? But by the time they did the second movie, they used the same mask from this film, but Deborah Hill just kept it under her bed, and they smoked a lot, so that
oh, so it made it
gave it
more
that
like
smoky, deformed
yellowish.
look. Yeah, it gave it a
Yeah.
kind of yellowish look. That it kind of aged it, but in a cool way. And then also
Yeah.
Dick Warlock, um,
Cool
the stunt
name.
actor playing Michael, had a wider head than Nick Castle.
Mm.
So it stretched the mask out. So it is the same mask, but it just looks different because of those conditions.
Yeah, Michael in this movie compared to a lot of the other ones is pretty lanky.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
not like overly so, but like just compared to a lot of the other iterations of him.
yeah, they either go too big or like, yeah. Okay, well, Loomis is telling us stuff about his important plot stuff.
Yeah, I should probably have subtitles on.
No conscious, no understanding, no rudimentary understanding of life, no good or evil. Well, it's evil, but he didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on some subtitles
I'm gonna
as
do this.
well.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Blackest eyes, yeah, devil's eyes. This is
Oh
the
yeah,
best Loomis, and
I
he's the
think
best
you're
character.
like not even I think you're like half a second ahead of me or something like that.
Honestly, I love Laurie Strode, but she's not really utilized in the first timeline of these series as much as she should be. She's in the second
Yeah.
movie, and then she's written off in a car wreck in the fourth one. It's really dumb. Then they bring her back for H2O and everything. But Loomis, though, for me, has always been the greatest character in these movies besides Michael. He's
Oh yeah.
Michael's, yin to his yang. He's the
Yeah.
only one that's like ever able to stop Michael in his tracks.
And he's
To
such a great actor too.
oh yeah, Donna Pleasance.
Donald, yeah. I saw some interesting thing recently about how Donald Pleasance is most well known for playing Blofeld in the Bond movies. Um,
Yeah.
and I saw an interesting thing. So there are weird there for a long time were weird like copyright things where um like the character of Blofeld wasn't included in the copyright of the James Bond franchise. So like that's why for a long time there was no Blofeld in any Bond movies.
Is that why they got away with it with Dr. Evil so easy?
Well, Doctor Evil would be, that's under parody and all that, so
Right,
easy
true.
to get away with. But it's why like they went. There was a very long period of time
Oh, this
where
is fucked up.
there were no Blofeld did not appear in any Bond films. Um, I
Mm.
think between like Roger Moore and then it didn't we didn't get Blofeld again until Daniel Craig with Spectre. Um, so but there's what happened in the meantime when Blofeld wasn't in any of the Bond films was Austin Powers happened, and essentially Austin Powers ruined the character of Blofeld. Like they
Because
can't,
more people knew
yeah,
Dr.
because
Evil.
Doctor Evil is more well known than Blofeld, so like they can't, and it's kind of why Spectre. Well, I think it was an
They could
okay.
never really go back
Yeah, it was
to use that
Spectre was an
character
okay
because
movie, but they really they tried to make Blofeld different, and they really had no choice other than to try something different with him because Doctor Evil is more of a cultural icon than Blofeld is.
and you don't want people comparing the original to the parody who
Yeah,
has now become
but you don't have
like
that
a
problem
cultural mainstay.
with Austin Powers and James Bond though, because Bond they kept making Bond movies.
Right,
It's just
obviously,
Blofeld
clearly.
wasn't in them for
Yeah.
various copyright reasons and stuff like that. Um, which is I
I
don't know.
love
I think that's kind of funny where it's like Doctor Evil was the parody, but now people look at Blofeld as the parody of Doctor Evil almost
right.
because there's whole like a whole generation of people where Doctor Evil was their first introduction to that character at all.
So getting us back to this movie though.
Yeah, sorry.
Now that we're into the night scenes, this is when it's like the movie I
This is where it picks up. Yeah.
cherish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is where it really gets good to me.
Oh, I agree.
It because yeah, when it's dark, you don't notice the palm trees in the background.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that before. Because I'm never gonna let it go.
Why is she changing in the kitchen?
Window wide open. I mean, who cares? I guess.
I mean,
That's Nancy Keys, I believe I'm pronouncing.
I mean, in her
Yeah,
defense,
she
she
was
probably
also
doesn't suspect someone's standing outside watching, but
no. I mean, would especially in the set, and this is why this movie was also a big deal. You just have this random killer show up in this suburban
I
normal
mean,
neighborhood in the 70s. And he kills the dog. I don't like when he kills the dog.
yeah. I mean, this movie, people don't think about it now, but I mean, like you said, like at the beginning of the commentary, that this was like kind of started the slasher genre. Um,
There's been other movies, like obviously Psycho,
yeah, well, it's like Psycho did
but
a lot of really great stuff, but it wasn't a slasher movie exactly.
no.
It was Psycho was almost like a detective story.
Yeah,
In
a
some
really
ways.
good
Like the
detective
first half of
movie,
it's kind of
honestly.
slasher, but the second half of it's kind of a detective story.
Yeah.
Like Criminal Minds type of thing.
But no, I mean
But
the original thing. And then John Carpenter would go to make
yeah.
his version. Basically, because this was such a success that that's why he could do the
And the thing is probably, I mean, I think it
I
has to
mean,
be
if we're
one of
gonna
the
be
greatest horror movies of all time. Like,
oh yeah, and it was hated
it's
at the time.
yeah.
It was like critically it would have been, a rotten movie back then if they did Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes and if anyone cares about it anymore.
And it doesn't
But
help that that the thing also has Kurt Russell, and I'm very biased to anything with Kurt Russell in it.
oh yeah.
I have a coworker. He has two dogs, and one of them is named Ripley, and one of them is named Pliskin. It's awesome.
Oh nice. Um so the 1951, The Thing from Another World. I've never seen that. There's a lot of older movie, those older horror movies I haven't seen yet, and I always say I will.
I would love to
Um,
run through some of those older sci-fi horror movies and stuff like that. I mean, one of the movies we considered watching for this commentary, which came out similar time, I don't remember exactly when, what we considered doing a commentary on Rocky Horror Picture Show.
mhm.
And the entire inspiration for Rocky Horror Picture Show was the idea of like these old science fiction like horror
All those old
movies.
sci-fi horror movies, yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of like, what if you take a sci-fi, double feature like type of thing and made it into like this wacky musical type of shit. Like
Definitely gets wacky.
yeah,
I love that musical cue.
Oh yeah. Oh, is this the first like really good kill we get? Yeah.
It's the first on-screen kill.
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Well, I guess if you don't count the dog.
I mean, I think this movie these days I see a lot of slasher
and
movies
also,
come out and people,
it's not that bloody. This original one, like
people make a big deal about like kill count in slasher movies and stuff these days.
mhm.
But this movie is a perfect example of the kill count doesn't matter so much as like how well they build up to it.
It's the build up, the suspense.
Yeah.
Who's getting killed, and they so the little girl here, Lindsay Wallace, Kylie Richards, ended up being a real housewife. Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, and also she reprised the same role in the new movies in Halloween Kills.
Yeah. That's awesome.
54 years old now. That's nuts.
Yeah, so for example, we were talking about Psycho earlier. The original movie Psycho only has 2 kills in it.
Right.
And it's considered like one of the best horror like serial killer movies of all time. There's only 2 people who die in the movie.
And he kills like 5 people in this, but yeah, it's not about the kills. And yeah, it can get fun and crazy with all the kills, like in the Jason movies and in the future Halloween movies. I love a movie
with a big kill count, but it's not what makes the movie, though.
Are they actually? And this is the whole "oh, I'm stuck, help me" meme. I think it started with this movie. No, it probably started with some other kinds of movies in the 70s, but
see, it's like that was great because it's like they built that up there where you thought she was gonna get killed there,
right?
But then, so you're like, oh.
Also, I love I just love these. I love the shots. It lingers on these shots, and
I mean, John Carpenter really was a good like cinematographer. Like,
oh yeah, he knows horror.
I mean, also like the
the thing does the same kind of thing where
it's a horror thing, but it's
just in the background, and it doesn't make a big deal out of it. Modern horror movies would make like a big deal. It'd be like a jump scare thing, but no. And then he's gone. The only thing you get.
You can see when he's gone a tiny bit of his shadow leaving too. So you see him actually kind of walk away.
Yeah, he walks around,
which is fun. I like that.
Like he doesn't teleport. There's nothing in these movies that show him teleporting. It's just kind of it just seems that way, right?
Yeah, the whole theories about like he
But
maybe
I
can
think
teleport is just like that's just slasher
that's
logic.
video game stuff. Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of comes
I
with the genre.
I like it so much more, and this is why this is still the best of this whole series, where they don't explain, so many movies now try to explain so much of lore, and that just ruins it. And when I heard about the Halloween show, and I'm like, well, Rob Zombie already tried to do what he wanted to do with the lore and the origin story, and a lot of people liked it. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. I like that version of Michael, but as far as the story goes, I think it kind of ruins the intrigue of the character. But like this one is just so simple, so straightforward. You have a killer in a white mask, a silent killer.
The way it's
The
handled
shape.
is the
That's all you need to know.
The pure like what is a slasher film type of thing, where it's like nothing. You have this long sequence here, like a very long sequence of we're following this lady. Nothing she's doing is interesting.
No.
There's no story that's happening here that's interesting.
They're just hanging out,
So how do you keep the audience invested by showing them little hints of like, oh, there's a killer following them?
Well, I love that kind of thing where he's just like in the background or something.
So it's like you're only on the edge of your seat, like invested, because you know that this guy's in the background.
He's stalking them.
And
yeah.
And that's like the core of what makes slasher movies fun, is like you can have stuff like this where like
and they're just
totally uninterested.
They're completely oblivious to anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Except Lori is the only, one of the reasons she survives all this is she has to be like on her best behavior aware, because she's babysitting. She's not going around to screw anybody or, go into a party. I mean, she's babysitting kids, so
Laurie's a great character. I mean, it's say what you will about the new trilogy. One thing that it does great, especially I think the 2018 Halloween, was bringing back Laurie and making her like like a paranoid gun nut type of character,
right?
Which was great. I thought that was a really good move and a really smart way to bring back like that character. So you get some fan service, but it still works for the movie,
struggling with PTSD and from these events.
But it's like this entire long sequence. There's multiple times where you're like, she's about to die. She's like, there's no way she's not about to die, and then she doesn't. And then so it keeps you on
just keeps building.
Yeah.
And then this scene is one of the reasons I always check the back of my car. I always check that back car seat.
Oh, I do too, but for other reasons. But yeah. And then there's the payoff of like the entire like last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
No, I check the back of my car seat because I've heard too many stories about like people jumping and like hiding in the back of your car and stuff like that. Not because of slashers. But
and then with the car horn going off. And no blood in that scene. It didn't need it. Just strangled her to death. And even movies that a lot of people, like movie series people associate with having a lot of gore. If you go back to the first movie, same thing with this one. With the first Saw movie, there's actually not a lot of blood and gore. There is, but compared to the new entries, it's not quite that gory.
It's been a long time since
And
I've
now
seen
the
any
new
of the
one
Saw
shows
movies,
everything.
but you on Morning Oddities, if you're listening, check out Morning Oddities or other podcasts. Link tree in the
I talked all
description.
about Saw X.
But yeah, on when you talk about that, you mentioned that like in the original, there's surprisingly not as much gore as you would think there is.
I mean, there still is, but
Well, at least compared to like what
not
the
as much
series
as you think.
becomes known for,
Yeah, because and there he is carrying her. And what I love about this, it's kind of a bottleneck episode of a movie. It's just all set in this one neighborhood.
I love bottleneck stories in movies
Oh,
and
yeah.
TV. I think it's an underrated format for storytelling.
I have to mention it again, but John Carpenter's masterpiece, The Thing, it's all on that base in Antarctica, just a bunch of men yelling at each other, and then a big monster. I mean,
there's some really excellent story movies out there that are like bottleneck episode type of things. There's a movie, 12 Angry Men. It's I don't know when it came out. It's a old black and white movie.
12 Angry Men.
Well, what it is, it's about 12 jurors. And you there's no courtroom scene in the movie. You don't get the courtroom scene. But the entire movie is them sitting in a room, with the part.
I love this bit here though.
The part of the trial where the jurors go to discuss amongst themselves, and it's the entire movie. It's just that, and it's excellent, really, really good.
Loomis is just loitering,
like a fucking creep. I mean, he has a good reason, but like,
yeah, but without any context.
And he's not saying to them,
get your ass away from there. I'm smiling. Of course. He gets a kick out of it.
Good way to spend Halloween night.
You got him. Right? I should just be. I was Michael before. I should be Loomis.
Yeah.
And just stand around bushes and have a gun.
If I was single and didn't have like stuff to do with my significant other around Halloween and stuff,
stand around bushes all night.
I would just put on a jumpsuit and a Michael mask and just go stand in like around corners around town.
And then I would run around as Loomis.
Also standing around corners.
Yeah. A game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
And see, they're like, nothing like this could ever happen in this town. And then now, I mean, with all the mass shootings and stuff we have all the time, I mean, a guy going off killing 5 people one night.
Yeah, I'm like, honestly, I would take a Michael Myers.
That wouldn't even make the news. And they talk about that in the new movie, like, oh, he didn't even kill that many people, but trust me, this guy's a psychopath. But like back then in the 70s, this kind of stuff was still happening, but it just went unnoticed.
Yeah.
Just look how long Ted Bundy got away with.
And people try to say that video games are desensitizing kids.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's a rough.
Look at these 2 grown adults underage drinking.
Underage drinking? We would never do such a thing, Jackson.
Not in that kind of truck. Well, never in a vehicle. I can't say that at least.
Yeah. No.
So it's not quite as bad in this movie, especially considering the era. But so many movies back then, the teenagers are just grown ass adults.
They do a good
not
enough
too bad
job
here.
In this one.
I think a lot of them actually were teenagers here.
Like you can believe at the very least that they're like seniors in high school.
There has been, I don't know if there's actually been like research done or something, but there is this phenomenon where people looked older back in the day. I don't know if it's just because of how they dressed because compared to how we dress and or like how they acted. I don't know.
I don't know.
But they're
But I would also say, like, I've met a lot of people these days that are just like, I meet a 15-year-old and assume that they're 18,
right. Well, yeah,
because of
there's
how they're
still yeah,
dressed.
there's a lot of people. I've met people like that.
I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, and
Um,
they're just so oblivious.
I guess I
Too
guess
busy
oh yeah. I guess part of it is because, if you're
getting
watching a movie
busy.
from the 70s, they're dressing how like our parents dress.
Right.
Um
One more.
but
Yeah,
also
boomers.
also to give I realized this recently to give some sort of
Well, my dad was only like
leeway to like
7 when this came out.
casting directors and stuff. I talked to a lot of, because working in liquor industry, you have to ID people and all that. I talked to a lot of older coworkers and people in the liquor industry, and they will say like, yeah, I absolutely cannot tell how old people are anymore.
Right.
Like, you know,
All
like
bleeds
the
together.
older you get, the harder it is to be able to tell if someone is, old enough to drink or not. You know, so maybe casting directors just actually think people look like they're teenagers.
It could be part of it. Well, it's
Look at those
also
glasses,
you don't
though,
want to hire
man.
minors though. That there's a lot more complicated things that go
That's
along with
true. That is true.
working with minors.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
film at night. You can't.
yeah. Look at those glasses, though, man. I should have. I
Those are
should have.
some Dahmer glasses.
I should have gotten glasses like that.
What? So you look like Dahmer?
Yeah, I should just make myself look like Dahmer. And my glasses are already like big nerdy style glasses enough that I think she knows
Uh-oh.
something's wrong. Oh, there's beer on the. They've been drinking. They can't consent, Jackson, if they're under the influence of alcohol. This is ridiculous. This is the real horror of
Right.
this movie, is the effects that alcohol has on underage drinkers. That's
Well, actually, so
I appreciate that they have the jack-o'-lantern on their nightstand.
I
That's
do
definitely
appreciate that, but it
an
also gives me
interior.
anxiety.
Yeah, I'm like, that's definitely an interior design choice that they made.
Yeah, that was a choice. But it also gives me anxiety because it has open flame in it.
Yeah,
But that gives me more anxiety.
what, the big guy with the knife and scary mask?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that was quick, man.
So yeah, adult Michael Myers was portrayed by Nick Castle in almost every scene except for some pickup shots and unmasking scene, where he's replaced by Tony Moran. Castle's school buddy John Carpenter was on set just to watch the movie be filmed. There's a suggestion of John Carpenter that he took up the role of Michael Myers as he was tall and had that what Carpenter considered an interesting walk.
Huh.
Castle admitted he was disappointed not to be the face shown, but understood that Carpenter wanted a more angelic face to juxtapose with Myers' ghastly deeds. Yeah, because he's supposed to just look like a normal guy. He's not like Jason where he's deformed or a zombie or whatever. He's
Yeah.
just like a normal guy under the mask. And we'll see that. Oh, we're about to get an iconic scene though.
Oh yeah.
Maybe my favorite Michael Myers scene.
It's definitely up there. Yeah. Uh
And this is a good kill.
yes.
Look at this jabroni.
Getting more beers with his Dahmer glasses.
And also in every horror movie, no one ever bothers to turn on the light. They always act like they have to do everything in the dark.
I would have turned on the light by now.
I mean, yeah,
maybe if I
if
was
someone's
only
sleeping,
maybe if I was only grabbing the beers from the fridge, I might not turn on the light. But then he stops and starts doing stuff with the dishes there. I'm like, I would have turned on the light.
I mean, then again, there has been times where I go around to do stuff and I just don't feel the need for the light. I'm like, I'm not scared of anything. So I guess, oh, there he is. Got him.
Oh yeah, this is great.
See, and this is still one of the best kills.
I just don't see very well in the dark, honestly. So sometimes I just need a light.
Well, he's not going to see anything at all in a second.
This is that shot of the mask against the wall is great.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good shots coming up of him lurking in the shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Couldn't Tarantino make that scene? Jeez.
Yeah. No, if Tarantino made it, there'd be a lot more blood.
And more feet.
And yeah. more feet, more Tarantino.
Head tilt, like a dog. Fetish. That's also a classic Michael thing. He's always got to do the head tilt. The ghost sheet. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. With the glasses.
But that's actually horrifying. If I woke up and I just saw that,
the only thing that makes it not horrifying is the knowledge that Michael went out of his way to put on a sheet with little holes in it and put on the glasses.
Oh, he's up for the theatrics. I mean, he's a Halloween-based killer. He's got it.
Yeah. He understands the idea.
He did go through the trouble, though, of poking some. Well, didn't he already make that, the boyfriend or whatever?
I don't know. I'm gonna give Michael the benefit of the doubt and say that the holes might have already been there, but he still sought it out and had the idea of like, I'm gonna put on.
Well, yeah, because
to fool her.
He doesn't just want to kill; he wants to spook people too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't know any better. It's Halloween. It could just be your boyfriend just being a weirdo, just playing Halloween.
I like how she's like, this isn't going nowhere. It's like, well, yeah, like
it already went somewhere pretty quickly. And she's just getting strangled. He already did that.
Classic shot there.
Yeah, so I have what's supposed to be the replica mask.
Nice. Is
that
the one you used for your costume a couple years ago?
Yeah. And it definitely, when you put that thing on, not only it gets hot in there and nasty in there, but every time I put it on though, and it's just because I'm playing along with it and everything though, but it does give me that energy, like I don't know, whenever you put on a spooky mask like that, you feel like you can be someone else.
Yeah.
And the Michael Myers mask, like I'll tell you, when I was a kid, when I first saw these or even glanced at these, while I wasn't supposed to watch it, I went in another room while they were watching these or stuff like this. But like just the music, just the score itself would freak me out because I knew what it meant and I knew what was coming.
I mean, this score is just so well.
Like as a kid, because it is literally freaky. all my dad had to do was just turn out the lights and start playing that music, and I'd be running into my room.
Oh yeah.
Just because I knew it's like with Jaws. As soon as you hear that
Oh
music, you
yeah.
know doom is coming. You know the killer is there or
That's
somewhere.
another movie we gotta watch sometime.
Oh, definitely, or at least talk about.
Yeah. So
Also
good.
of this era. I think what Jaws came out in 77,
Uh
or was it also
let me see. I'll look it up. Um
75? First
yeah.
blockbuster.
Yeah, fantastic movie. Jaws might be one of my favorite like kind of suspense like movies. Um
Oh yeah.
like thrillers. Um
Also very much indie.
oh
Very low
yeah.
budget.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean
not as much as this, but because they still had the animatronic shark, but that was a
and
disaster.
and rife with
Um,
production problems and stuff like that. It's kind of a miracle that the movie turned out so amazing, you
right.
know. Uh yeah,
Oh,
so
Spielberg.
such a great movie. Um Spielberg, I know, like has had, especially in recent years, some kind of misses. um, but movies like Jaws
He doesn't have to. I mean,
kind of remind you that Spielberg really does deserve the reputation he
well, in Jurassic
has.
Park,
Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Indiana
Schindler's List.
Jones,
Yep.
the original three movies he
Hmm.
did. Um, yeah,
Oh, did he direct all those?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, yeah, he did all of them.
I know he had a heavy hand in production. I forgot he directed
No,
all
yeah,
of them.
it was him and George Lucas, and George Lucas took a backseat on directing. George Lucas was just a producer and writer
Right.
on it. But Spielberg did the directing for them because they were good
This
friends,
this
and
scene, just with the
they can.
music,
Oh yeah,
just walking in the dark, is rather kind of mundane neighborhood, but it's also creepy at the same. And that's what makes it creepy. This is
oh
all
yeah,
happening in your backyard
yeah,
in America's neighborhood. You know, that's kind of the whole idea of it. It's supposed to represent just any old suburban life, you know.
yeah.
And what's really crazy is this movie is bordering on 50 years old.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Um, in 5 years, it will
Oh
be 50 years
wow,
old.
that's wild. That is.
Have you
Yeah.
ever experienced this phenomenon as a kid? I don't know what you would call it, but I'm sure other people. I'm sure if I went on Reddit, I would find other people talking about it. Um, but where movies and music and stuff you experience as a kid, since it's all new, it doesn't seem old. It seems like it's just came out. You know what I mean? When it like the
Yeah.
first time you experienced it.
Yeah.
And this was always one of the movies that I felt that way with. Like it was my first time with Michael, so like it was all so new to me. It felt so
Absolutely.
fresh and recent, like where it and that made it scarier too because it felt so close to home. I don't know how I would
M-
quite explain
Movies
that,
that
but
come to mind that are like that for me were like the Matrix movies, which I probably first time I watched them was in the 2000s. A
oh yeah,
decade
that's when they
after
came out.
Matrix was the 90s.
The first one was 99.
Yeah. So, but like, I mean, but like watching the first Matrix, like I probably first time I watched it was like 2005 or something like
And
that,
it felt
and
brand
it
new
felt
because
brand new. Yeah, like,
well, it even goes beyond that with me, where even certain events in history felt new.
yeah,
Like when I first learned, um, for instance, when I first learned about the Beatles and everything and their history, and like when John Lennon's death and all that, like I kind of learned it in this weird way where it felt like it was like a chronological order of like it. felt recent to me. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And like when
I
I finally
remember.
like when I finally learned about uh, people's deaths or stuff like that, I was like, "Oh no, are you serious?" It's like I tried not to spoil myself with history, like with things that already
Yeah.
happened. Do you
I
ever do
remember
that?
being disappointed
Well, I used to do that.
when I found out Johnny Cash died
Right. Same
because
thing.
I
Yeah.
was really into Johnny Cash when I was a kid and I didn't know I did like to me because I was a kid and I didn't know it didn't feel like it
You
was
don't
like
think about that
all
kind of
this
thing
music
if
was so
they're still
old. So it's like
around.
when I hear that he died of pretty, and he was very old when he died, I was like, wait, what? No. Um
Yeah. I don't know how we got into this, but
certain
that's a
video
weird phenomenon.
games were like that. Some of the Super Mario games
Super
playing
Mario Bros. 3 felt brand
playing
new. I didn't think
yeah.
of it being out in the 80s. No, it was just a cool new game that I got to play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That'd be a good episode topic. I don't know what
Oh
we would
yeah,
call it, but
there's the headstone.
born November 10th, 1947, died Halloween 1963. So
Yeah.
only yeah, like 16
Oh,
on this. So
that's
he
that's a proper jump scare right there. That's a good one.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he put all the dead bodies in places to I mean, he's not as creative with his kills like as like Jason or Freddy, but he's still oh, here's the best shot in the movie though.
Yeah.
Just slowly fading in the darkness.
That's
Oh,
so good.
ow.
Oh, she's lucky she didn't
And
fucking
begins the
snap her neck
chase.
there. Yeah.
Another thing that makes this just so terrifying actually is that there was no connection with oh he's tracking her down because this blood curse he has or whatever he has to kill his family and all
He's
this.
just
No,
being
she's just a random girl that got caught up in this madness
yeah.
and but for he just wants to kill her. He just wants to get her and
He's just a killer. That's what he
yeah,
does.
that's all he does, busting through the door.
Yeah, like in the 2018 movie, it does a much better job like justifying why he would want to kill her because it's like because of this she got away.
Yeah.
So that's why he wants to kill her. Not because of like the blood curse shit. Like
No.
see, I like that. She smashes the window to get out. She doesn't have like the typical horror movie thing of um like can't figure a way
No,
out.
she's the best final girl. I mean, there's other good final girls, but Laurie Strode's the best. Also, the girl in Nightmare on Elm Street. I'll give her a shout out. She's really good too.
Yeah. These people are like,
They just turned her lights off. They're
the
like, "Oh, it's
fucking
Halloween. It's probably just a prank or something." That's fucked up.
that is
In the
fucked
new
up. Yeah.
movie, her granddaughter does the same thing, but they actually help her.
Yeah.
They call the cops and everything, and but
Yeah, I'm
like
like, I
this
don't
was
care
a
what day of the year it is. If someone's screaming, help me, like that
right.
on my
You help
doorstep,
them.
I'm gonna fucking open the door at least. Like, be like, what's going
Yeah, and
on?
get the law authorities, but like
And if
um
it's a prank, then fine, they pranked me. Whatever, you know.
doing as others
Oh,
tell me.
ooh.
Doing his power walk.
He's probably a very good like power walker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Put him in some spandex and send
Do
him
as
on
I say.
a fast walk, speed walking.
But yeah, I love the Bat Squatch. We mentioned it earlier, but
It's good beer, really is.
It's really good, honestly. As far as hazy IPAs go, I mean,
Excuse
there's
me.
not too many hazy IPAs I dislike. They're honestly one of my favorite forms of IPA,
Yeah, they're
actually.
good. They're easy to pull off because
Yeah.
it's much easier
Oh,
to
got him in the neck.
pull off a hazy IPA than it is like a you know regular IPA or a
Oh,
fresh
he's
hop or
totally
something like
faking
that.
it here. Playing possum.
Oh yeah.
But personally, I would keep the knife, but I know she drops it here.
Yeah.
That's a big ass kitchen knife.
It is.
I have one like that, but not quite that big.
Yeah, that's massive. You don't need
It's
one that
massive.
big.
That's a stabber. Yep.
Yeah. There he is. Just also
Man,
stalking around.
yeah. He was always so good in these movies. Sorry, we're just kind of watching. Um,
Yeah, lingering on this shot there. That's ooh.
I don't know about that, Lori.
Yeah, maybe there is something to be
Behind
scared of.
you. Here's where it really gets going.
Yeah.
This closet scene terrified me as a kid.
Oh yeah. This is
I
like
I, I think
this is psycho level like type of filming here.
right.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, this came out what, like 15 years after Psycho, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like
Well,
this
like, when did Psycho come out? 60
63, something like that. 1960.
that early?
So 18 years after Psycho. So, not long enough for it to be like this movie probably because people quote Psycho as being like, groundbreaking for horror movies. And this was probably one of the next big movies for horror,
Oh yeah, it
like as far
was.
as like transforming the genre. Oh, this is great. Yeah. With the swinging light like that adds so much there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going on and off, yeah. And then she gets him in the eye. Oh yeah, she gets him pretty good there.
Yeah. But he's resilient.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Like that he didn't try to like open the door. He just
bursting through. Well, she
yeah.
tied it up, right? Yeah.
Oh,
So, but
right.
still,
And she drops the knife again.
I mean, any reasonable person would think he would be down for the count.
Yeah, but it's the second time she's
Got him
fallen
an
for
eye
it.
and stabbed him to get. Yeah, and then we get a really good shot here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently, the stabbing sound effect was made with stabbing a watermelon.
Ah,
That's still employed to this day, like
yeah,
slicing through and stuff
Foley
like that.
artists.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
an
still a thing.
underappreciated.
It's a part of the art form that's not gone away yet. Ooh, now he knows.
Yeah, that setup.
That's a great shot.
So
But like
originally, this is supposed to be the
uncanny
babysitter
way he
murders.
oh
Oh yeah, out of focus and everything. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
just
like the
weird. I don't
uncanny
like it.
way that he stood up there,
Yeah.
like straight up, like
His eyes fucked up.
oh, and you see his face for a second there,
Yeah.
which is rare.
What, 6 shots?
Yeah. Emptied his revolver into him.
Yep. Ran his whole dead eye meter.
No. Deadeye, you can reload in Deadeye.
Oh, true, true. Well, he's out of dead eye. That's what I mean.
Right.
Was that the Boogeyman? It was. Yeah. Classic one. So yeah, this was originally. Wait, I don't want to run this part.
Yeah.
Gone.
And the music.
And that always freaked me out too, because then I was like, oh, he's out there.
Yeah. But he doesn't come back yet. He fucks off for a bit.
No, so if you go by the Halloween 2 timeline, it keeps going the same night.
Yeah. Oh,
He
right,
gets
right,
taken
right.
to the hospital and he tracks her down, and that's when they explain, oh, she was his sister. If you go by the new timeline, uh I think he kills somebody else and then he gets caught by the police. They surround him,
Yeah.
and that's when they take him in. Um but just the breathing, you just know he's out there and
Yeah.
somewhere in the darkness. And there you have it. Halloween. A nice short commentary.
Yeah. Only an hour and a half there.
There goes the age of 90-minute movies. I mean, we still have them sometimes, but I just feel more often studios feel like they have to make like 2 hour plus movies. It's like sometimes that can ruin the pacing, and sometimes you
Yeah.
just want a good 90-minute flick. But The Shape, Nick Castle.
So now we're gonna
Um,
watch H2O.
yeah, let's skip over to H2O
Uh,
now.
uh,
So I was gonna mention earlier. So yeah, it was originally gonna be the babysitter murders, and it was gonna take place over several days. But due to budgetary limitations, they had to change it to where everything happened the same day. So that's when they decided on Halloween. And honestly, I mean, if it would have been the babysitter murders, it would have probably just been a one-off thing, like a cult classic type of thing. But I doubt it would have went anywhere. But basing it around Halloween, yeah, music performed by the Bowling Green Philharmonic Orchestra. Don't Fear the Reaper, Blue Oyster Cult, and then The Thing. Yeah, he had to get the rights to use The Thing in the movie.
Right.
And then he would make The Thing.
Yeah.
The remake. And I hate this. I mean, the remake,
1980,
counts, is
1982. So 5 years later, or 4 years later. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. The original Halloween.
All right.
Is there any post-credit scenes?
That wraps up Spooktober.
Yep. So we hope everyone has a fun and safe Halloween. Hopefully you get more treats than tricks. But if you're into that kind of thing, maybe you would want the tricks. I don't know. Yep. But go follow us at Odd Drunk Pod on Instagram. Check out our link tree in the description for whatever platform you prefer. Give us a rating, download our review, and check out our spin-off podcast, Morning Oddities. Got a lot of good stuff there too. We're almost 20 episodes, right? Or something.
Yeah, we are at 20 episodes. Next episode will be episode number 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that was the last episode of Spooktober this whole month. I feel like every year, maybe I'm sounding more like an old boomer, old person, but every year it always seems like it goes by faster and faster.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fourth Spooktober.
Now, as of recording, it's not Halloween yet, but by the time this releases, and we're gonna take a week break after this just to kind of recalibrate, get ready for just some standard episodes again, get back in the hang of things. If you're listening over on Morning Oddities, we're gonna keep doing that though. We don't need to take a break for that.
Yeah, we'll still do Morning Oddities. We'll have some cool stuff coming up. Some real fun episodes, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Spooktober's over, but it was a good one. Always love it. And we got more coming up for you guys. Anyways, stay safe out there and don't let the bed bugs bite.
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The Odd Drunk Podcast recommends you follow their Instagram and join their Facebook group for more fun content. To visit all of our current streaming and social media platforms, visit the link tree in the description. If you enjoy the show, we would be appreciated if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts. The Odd Drunk Podcast would like to remind you to drink responsibly and not to drink and drive.